الذين اصطفى أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم إن في خلق السماوات والأرض Indeed, in the creation of earth and sky, in the rotation of the day and night, there are symptoms for those people who are intellectual. Quran Majid, Furqan Hamid is a book of guidance. But because it is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, therefore it touches different topics and we can get the signs from the Quran. For example, a person who has a scientific background, if he reads the Quran, then he will find so many signs of sciences from Quran. And then he becomes surprised that 1,400 years ago, all these texts have been told by Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when there was no base of science. 1,400 years ago, even the wheel was not fabricated, even the dynamo was not made, even the paper was not made. At that time, if Quran tells us about something which is proved in the scientific age by the science, confirmed by the science, so really it is a big player for a Muslim. That Quran Majid, Furqan Hamid is the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the verses of Quran, these are the truths, real truths. These are the ultimate realities of the universe. So many years ago, when people were not in the scientific age, then the kuffar used to make objections on the Islamic teachings. Let me quote you a simple example to just get started to understand what I want to say. Rasulullah ﷺ told in one of the ahadith that the bad person is punished in the grave, but the noise of punishment is heard by the animal and the other creation, but not by the human being. Human beings, they cannot hear it. The rest of the creation, they can. Now when they used to read this, they used to make objection. How it is possible? If the animals can listen it, why the human beings cannot listen it? So at that time, it was really difficult to make them understand why there is a difference. Now, in the scientific age, science has investigated the truth. For every human being, there is a band of frequency in which he can hear. For example, from 2000 hertz to 20,000 hertz, in between, he can hear any voice. But if the voices of the frequency below 2000 are higher than 20,000, he cannot hear it. So its example is just like the frequency of the radio, that if you set your needle on the right frequency, you can see what is in the air, you can hear it. Otherwise you will not. So similarly, to listen, every human being has a band of frequency. Now the band of frequency for the animals is much, much wider than the human being. Even in this scientific age, in some of the research laboratories, the cats and dogs, they are kept. Why? Because whenever there is earthquake, then before the earthquake, there is always a big sound coming from the earth, which human being cannot understand. It's in much higher frequency. But the animals, they can understand it. And then they act in certain way that the scientists, they can understand that after some time there is going to be an earthquake. And it happens. So people have confirmed that the listening of the animals is much wider than the human beings. Nowadays, a small instrument has been made. This is for the mouse. You know, when there are wheat go down and maize go down, then the mouse, they come in and they destroy the commodity, whatever there is. Now the growers, the owners, they are sometimes very upset. Now they want to get rid of these mouse. But how? In the previous age, they used to keep some medicine, some tablets. But nowadays, it's a very simple method. A small electronic instrument has been made, and this instrument generates sound at a frequency that the mouse feels as if someone is beating drum in the ear of the mouse. It's so high. So they cannot stay and they go down. As soon as the instrument is put on, they just leave the go down. They go away. And the name of the instrument is Bye-Bye Rat. Bye-Bye Rat. So wherever you put this instrument on, the rats, they run away. But the person, he is standing near that instrument, but he is not listening it. Now with our own ears, we cannot listen, whereas the rat cannot stand there. So it means that the science has proved that a sound can be generated which a rat cannot bear. He has to leave the place, whereas the human being, he cannot listen it. Similarly, the punishment in the grave will be done at a frequency which the human being cannot feel, and rest of the animals they can feel. So now it's very easy to understand. This was just a simple example to make you understand.